NeighborsFirst.sg is a digital storytelling platform by POSB that houses what we call the narratives of the neighborhood. The client had a very interesting insight and was called Welcome to the New Neighborhood. POSB is a very iconic brand with a lot of heritage, and we want millennials to look at the brand with renewed eyes. So in the same way, when we approach content, we have a theme. It's called Refresh the Familiar. We want to take traditional stories, topics and themes and retell it in a new way.
It is very important for corporations and companies to play a role in societies, countries and communities. POSB is a remarkable brand. For 135 years, it has been there with the man on the street.
Neighbor First, Banker Second is more than a tagline. It is a promise to our customer.
NeighborsFirst.sg I see is a playground for neighbors where neighbors can gather together, not necessarily in a physical space, to exchange ideas that is about what they can do best to fulfill what they want to do in their life.
My hope for this site is really to be able to bring Singaporeans together, to see that there's so much happening that we as Singaporeans can be so proud of, that's happening right in our backyard.
We have two approaches to content. One is creation and one is curation. For creation, we work with very talented content producers who tell very compelling stories. So for curation, Singaporeans have a lot of stories to share and they're already doing it very actively on social media. A lot of stories already exist. We're just giving them a platform to share this and contribute these stories to us.
When you design a website that's about the neighborhood, the website itself needs to promote a sense of harmony. When we first started designing Neighbors First, we wanted to not just design another website, but we wanted to elevate the digital storytelling experience. So the design had to step aside and it had to make way for the heart of the matter, and in this case, that was the story.
One of the biggest challenges for us as storytellers is to tell a story that everyone is so familiar with in a new way. The nature of making documentary is that, Murphy's Law comes into play. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. But you know that once you get the story that you're looking for, or sometimes these people go on to surprise you with stories that you never expect. It's really rewarding.
I feel honoured, man. I feel honoured that you guys come to my shop and interview me. This is local stuff, like Void Deck Barbershop, like every single Singaporeans know about. So it's really important to have this kind of story.
Dancing in the neighborhood today was a new experience. And I was dancing on the table at the Void Deck. It was challenging because the table was quite small, so you need to make sure I do not step out of the table and not fall.
My favorite content piece is Making the Cut. It was the first in the series of this old versus new idea that we had. We had really great profiles. They were such interesting people to talk to and such interesting people to work with.
For people to actually comment that, this is something that they feel is right for POSB, we are truly living up to our positioning as Neighbours First, Banker Second, is a testimony that we are probably moving in the right direction. So I think the results have been very, very encouraging. And I think the team is fantastic, they're very passionate. So I couldn't have asked for a better team to work on.
Today, your new neighbours are not just next door, it's everybody you know on Facebook. Your favourite neighbourhood place or store is not just downstairs, it's on your mobile phone. A new sense of neighbourliness is not just helping people you recognise or who are down the street, it's championing causes for and with people whom you've never met before on social media.
So every day in this new neighbourhood, there's always something new to be discovered.
In my mind, as a good neighbor, you must always show demonstration of care. You must always look out for them. And more importantly, you have to connect with them.
I am a, very active neighbor. My active neighbor means I take an interest in all the lives of the people around me. So I'm the kind of person who will go and knock on the door or, try and find out what the kids of the neighbors are doing. Because I genuinely feel interested in what's happening in my neighborhood to the extent I can. So for me, Neighbours First is perfect because it takes all of that sense of what I personally believe in and makes it come to life.